I need you to stop being a victim. Okay.
Yes, I hear you.
Hold on, hold on. He
Okay.
cannot do anything you just said. He cannot block you from a person. He cannot make you be in suffering of going to court. Okay. He cannot do any of that. Your consciousness and your perception and your meaning and your assigning him the power can do that. But you are the only one that can do any of that. Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Hi, Helen. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. What is going on?
Hello, Dr. Erin. Thank you so much for taking my call. So I have been going through a divorce and a post-divorce nightmare for 8.5 years. And it's been a real nightmare. My ex-husband just won't leave me alone. He loves torturing me through courts. And, our daughter she's 12 years old, and poor thing, she's been dealing with this since she was 4. And it just feels like it's never going to end.
Okay, let's
So,
stop you right there. Okay.
yeah,
No one wants to get through a divorce. Okay. Not fun for anyone, but divorces
yeah,
happen, courts happen, and
yeah.
I don't know the situation. But what I did hear you say, which is very, very important, okay, Helen, is you put a lot of meaning around it, right?
Hmm.
Here's the situation. You're in court for divorce, and here was the story. He likes to torture you through court. Okay. Whether that's real or not is a relative truth, your perception. The truth is, it just is what it is. So, so my goal today is to really find out what's actually happening, what's your story around it, and take a look at universal law, which is basically showing us that how you're perceiving it is how you're energizing it. And so your identity and your beliefs around it are where we want to have a breakthrough today. Okay. So tell me a little bit more about it just so we can get the reality around it. You've been in court for 4 years. Is that correct?
8.5.
8.5 years. Okay. Uh-huh. And so what are you calling for? What do you want to get out of this call today?
What I want is I want to know what I can do for him to leave me alone.
Okay,
How
great.
can I be like energetically, because I'm still not in a relationship. I want to be in a relationship, there were some men in my life, but things didn't work out. And, I feel like my ex is holding on to me energetically so strong that like he's kind of blocking me from
Okay.
other relationships.
Let me help you here.
Okay.
This is, by the way, this show is kind of fun for me, okay? Because what I would do in session with a client is completely different what we're doing on the show. In
Hmm.
session, I would never give an opinion. In session, I would never, say anything. I would help you birth your truth, help you, release limited beliefs and help you restore the power and the truth of who you are. Okay. However, we're here to kind of have breakthrough radical conversations and get a little blunt. Okay. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. I need you to stop being a victim. Okay.
Yes, I hear you.
Hold on. He
Okay.
cannot do anything you just said. He cannot block you from a person. He cannot make you be in suffering of going to court. Okay. He cannot do any of that. Your consciousness and your perception and your meaning and your assigning him the power can do that. But you are the only one that can do any of that. Do you get that?
How do I stop being a victim?
Okay, now we're talking. That's the question. Yes, we got to the question, Helen. This is the real question. Can you just say that
Yes.
one more time so that might get a little like someone's listening and they're going to be like, wait, what?
Yes. How can I stop being a victim?
My
I don't want to
gosh.
be a victim. I want to be a
You know what?
successful speaker. I want to empower women all over the world. I have a huge mission now, thanks to
Yeah.
this divorce.
You know what? Hallelujah, Helen. Hallelujah. You just spoke music to my ears, and I'm smiling, and my heart is like just so happy right now. Because if you can even
Thank
have
you.
that potential and that question, then we got something to work with. Okay.
Yes.
I love that. So the first
Thank you.
thing is what we do is having radical responsibility. We really
Mhm.
take a look at, look, it is what it is. He's doing whatever he's doing. He is doing whatever he's doing on his side of the street. Now, on my side of the street, I, you know, an example is say court, okay? You can still go to court and you're handling it. It doesn't mean you need to energize it all day long. You handle it, you do whatever needs to happen to complete that cycle. And meanwhile, you live your life, right? It's all the meaning. And I want to be different in this. There's a gap of suffering of the victim, okay? The victim wants people, places in life to be different than they are. The empowered woman accepts people, places, and things as it is and energizes what she wants to create. So let me ask you this question. What do you want to create?
A great question. I love that distinction. It's actually really great. I've never heard it this way before. I want to be a successful motivational speaker, empowering women all over the world, uh, teaching them that they are much stronger than their circumstances and their crazy exes.
Great.
And yeah, also, I guess once I stop being a victim fully, then I can teach other women also how to stop being a victim.
Bing, 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 which is written in our masterclass. You're in this masterclass specifically because you're here to help other women who are being victims of their circumstances shift it to take radical responsibility to be able to be empowered and make a difference in the world. Guess what? A perpetrator has to be a victim. The narcissist has to be the codependent. It's one and the same. The moment that people wake up and realize, oh, it's not because my ex is so mean and so crazy, because you wouldn't have ever even been in that relationship if you weren't codependent and a victim. It wouldn't have happened. Okay. So we have to take full responsibility. We have to, doesn't mean that we forgive our exes as in we don't take them, hold them responsible or, still stay in court if we need to stay in court, but we no longer become the effect of them. So
Yeah.
are you ready to forgive your ex, meaning not forgive him, like not forget what he did and do whatever needs to happen, but forgive your own energetics, release those energetics and declare right now, right here on this call, that you declare that you are no longer handing your power over to him or the situation from this moment forward.
Yes, I love it. It's so powerful. Yes, I declare
Yes.
that
Okay,
I am
cool.
no longer a victim and I take back my power and I am taking away all of his reins that he has been controlling me with.
Okay, great. Now, obviously, we know there is work to be done to have that become a reality embodied, but it is the decision, okay? It's in the decision that sets the precedence of universal law. Universal law teaches us that we command, the word creates. Okay. We know this biblically. We know this through spirituality, through manifestation, that our word creates. So when we decide, it doesn't mean we have it all figured out or it's all complete, but it is the decision that begins the process. And so the question really is, are you willing to do whatever it's going to take to fulfill upon that command to embody whatever it is, not committing to me, not committing to any program, whatever, but committing to yourself that you don't know how it's going to happen. You don't know how much trauma, how much work, how much whatever it's going to be, but you are deciding in this moment that you are going to do anything and everything to embody no longer being the effect or the victim of him or the circumstance or anything that you created with him.
Yes, I do.
I do. I love this. This is a marriage to the self. This is the ultimate
Yes.
marriage to yourself. That's right. Okay, I love this so much. Let's take a deep breath, you guys. Just exhaling out and releasing, coming into that 0 point field, that God source within every cell, every molecule. I recognize the truth of Helen. I recognize no matter how many years she has been in the prison of being in the court of her own consciousness that has held her in that contempt. No matter what the situation is, no matter what the story has been, no matter what has happened, that this divine moment in her consciousness, she is set free with her own consciousness, by the power of her own decision, by the power of her own word. We release the how, release all that, knowing that the perfect situation, the perfect unfoldment, the perfect healing, the perfect trauma work, the perfect embodiment is already there. She's just opening up to receive it in consciousness now and take bold, inspired action around this. I'm knowing this woman is a leader. I know her courage that it took for her to call in today. And I recognize the truth that this is where her word creates and said, no more. It is done. Now it is my time to thrive. It is done, as together we say, and so it is. And so it is. Okay, I love this so much. So let's just talk for a minute. Now what? Right? Now what? So this is obviously, I'm not a doctor of a therapist. Okay, I'm a doctor of divinity. So everything we're talking about here is spiritual. And what I would highly recommend for you, Helen, is that you get in and do deep trauma work, and that you also learn how to align with universal law. Spiritual psychology teaches us that whatever is in the subconscious mind, the energetics, it is the limited belief and the identity. So your identity is what called in your ex, right? So in order to shift and not call in the next person, that's just going to be a different set of the same issues and a different character, different set of clothes, right? We have to work on that core identity and get such great self-worth and identity that it will annihilate any, dysfunction coming in. Okay. So that's my recommendation for you, to make sure you do that, and then make sure that you have a spiritual practice that is reminding you every day of your oneness and your divinity, of the all-powerful, all-knowingness that is the consciousness that can create anything, and begin to focus every day on what you do want instead of focusing on what you don't want, because universal law teaches us whatever we focus on, if we don't want something, we're resisting it, it's going to amplify it and persist it. If we focus on what we do want, it'll be water off the back of things that we don't want. We'll handle it, but we'll stay mostly focused on what we are creating in our life. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Have a beautiful, blessed day, sweetheart.